I'm John. Welcome to my first build. So, I had to reshoot this because I cut my head off. My tripod fell on me. So, I originally was going to open up with the fact that I've got a bunch of boxes back here, and I decided on the one that I was going to work on, and this is it. And I've already started doing some. I went ahead and did the demo work. I've got all my parts here. Pretty straightforward stuff. One of the things that I was going to say is when you take your hinges off, especially if you're going to reuse them, especially on something inexpensive like this, cheap like this, mark which side your hinges are on. Because they aren't the greatest hinges in the world, so hole alignments and things can be funny. I just found that out, over doing a bunch of these. And I've already kind of decided on the layout that I want to do. I want to take the pins, and in the top section, I'm going to do them in 2 columns because I think I can get quite a few in that way. And in the drawer, I think I'm only going to do 1 level because it's only like 1.5 inches deep. So I think I'm going to just do them this way, which is pretty standard. And we should be able to get quite a few. I might build a tray that's raised up just slightly, so maybe there would be a place to put, for somebody that's got modern pins, ink cartridges, or if they've got pencils, they can put leads and things down here, or stash cash, whatever they want to do. So that's what I'm going to do there. The other thing is I when I was tearing this apart, I was looking at the hardware, and there was drawer pulls for this, and I don't like them because they got these little dangly bits on them, and I'll get to that in a minute. But so I think what I'm going to do is, these are aluminum, and they have a little rosette. I think you should be able to see it there, maybe. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. So what I've done is I've just taken it and ground it down. And maybe I'll take some close-ups or a short video and add it to the end. And I'm either going to plate these or maybe anodize them because they are aluminum. And there's videos online on how to do that, so it's going to be a test for me, so I'm not going to shoot that. There's plenty of videos online on how to do that type of stuff. But so I've gotten to the point where I've sanded it. I did find out that this top piece is laminate, and it's like a 64th of an inch thick, so it is zero thin. I mean, it's 0.056425, I think, is what a 64th of an inch is. So it's thin. I mean, this, a couple of pieces of paper are probably as thick as this. So I'm going to make sure that I am really careful when I'm sanding this down. But I've already done some sanding on the lid and stuff here. I've found some issues. One of these pieces of trim was cracked, so all I did was just re-glued it and clamped it back down to hold it in place. But the sanding is going pretty well, and I think it'll be fine once I get to that point. And I also came up with an idea today. I got a bunch of material from a local store. It's this stuff here. Basically, it's just corrugated plastic. And this morning, I didn't feel like sanding, and my son has wanted a little lap desk, little work area for himself with some compartments like I use if I'm upstairs watching a hockey game or something like that, when I'm just working on projects to, I like to keep my hands busy. And as I was using this stuff, and it's great because This stuff it's from the holiday season, and it's just for their displays. It's corrugated, and they were just going to throw it away, and so I asked if I could have it, and they gave it to me, and so I got basically 4 foot by 4 foot sheets of completely usable material. Yeah, it's got some printing on one side, but to make a prototype lap table for my son, which I explained to him my 7-year-old son, I explained to him what a prototype was, so we could make something better. And he's always creating and building things, so he likes learning stuff like that. It's pretty solid stuff, so it'll work good for me mocking stuff up. I can use it for building trays and stuff that I use around here. It's light, and it's completely usable material. Might end up in some of these at some point or another for dividers for pins and things like that, just because it's super lightweight and easy to work with. But when I was doing this, I got to thinking about it. This particular box. Oh, and a quick side note, this box is from Montgomery Ward, actually stamped on the bottom here. So I did a little research, and this is from the 1979 to 1981 Montgomery's catalog. Montgomery Wards Jewelry box. The mirror was cracked, so I took that out. Most of the interior was trash, so usually I like to put something back from the original box and keep it in there with it. I don't really have anything out of this because it was so trashed out on the interior. I might have one thing I can use. Actually, that might not be bad. So, in the top of this, there was this little rail, and it had these little hooks on it for, hanging necklaces and stuff like that on when the lid was open. This would have sat in here like this, and these hooks came down, and several of them were broken off. So that would have been like that with the necklaces hooked to it. So I might be able to use that, and I'll tell you here in a second. Either that or use this. But I always save that material coming out because I can use it for something in the future. But anyway, I got to working with this, and I'm looking at this lid, and where the mirror was is recessed. So my thought is, I'm going to build a piece that goes inside the lid, like this, and I'm going to put a couple of hinges right here, and that way, when we can put some slots for some pins in here also. That way, when whoever purchases it, if they have this at their desk, this will be propped up here. Let's see if I got something I can do this with close at hand. My little ruler. I love this thing. This is a vintage Lufkin ruler, and it's got a little caliper built into it. It's a little 12-inch wooden rule that I plan on cleaning up a little more, but I absolutely love this, and it's complete. It's got all the pins, so I carry this when I go out looking for stuff because I can use it to measure with. I can measure thicknesses of material, things like that. It's awesome. So, whoops. Anyway, my thought is I will have a piece along the front, and when this folds out, that will sit like that, so the pins that they're currently using on a daily basis can be sitting here, and then they can take them out and use them, and then when they're done for the day or whatever, they can put them back and fold it up. And what I'll do is I will put a small latch here, and I think that's where this might come into play, because then it could just pivot up, and then they can shut the lid. So that's my design idea on that. So, I'm going to carry on, and the way I'm going to do these videos is I'm just going to do the first set. I'm just going to do them step by step. Each video will be something different. In this one, you got to see kind of my design process and the idea of how I'm going to do certain things. I still got to pick out color for the interior, which I've got quite a bit to choose from right now on hand. And I'll figure out what I want to do with staining and finishing it. So that'll be in a later episode. That way you don't have to see some sped up montage of me doing a bunch of sanding and stuff like that. You will see me definitely doing work. And yeah, so that's where we are for right now. So hopefully this turns out a little bit better, and I'm going to get this series going. So not all of my stuff is going to have to do with boxes or fountain pen boxes or whatever. I am going to show some of the stuff that I do for, like, using this material to build a lap desk for my other son and things like that. Just being able to repurpose materials and items for a new life, so they're not just going to the landfill or getting thrown in the garbage somehow. Enough stuff gets thrown away nowadays that there's no reason for it, especially when you have something like this that's got such good solid bones, and you know, it's got a little bit of a piece of history, because I don't think Montgomery Wards is even around anymore. So to keep a piece of it, which I will definitely be keeping the logo on the bottom, I will probably poly or lacquer over the top, probably lacquer over the top of it, just to keep it set in there so it doesn't go away. I will make sure I get some history put in the box to tell about it. So, alright, so next time I see you, this will be sanded. I will actually start doing some of the cut and fit work for the interiors of this. So, we'll see you after a bit. Bye.